Right, share screen and start the slideshow. All right, there we are. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Today is November 19th, whenever you watch it. 2024, you never know, because these videos will last forever, for generations. So,
Yeah.
but the great thing about real estate, been in it 30 years, we get new ideas, new thoughts, new technology, all stuff, but it all comes down to a lot of the same things. So, I
True.
tell new agents all the time, I'm telling the agents the same, 90% of the same thing I did 30 years ago. It's just the technology and the connectivity and different ways to communicate with people. But today, open houses, which have been around forever, but we're going to give you some ideas on thinking about open houses and getting more leads. So, all right, Adam, you jump right into it and let me know when you want me to jump in my opinion.
You know it, Tony, and I appreciate that. So this is great, guys. So yeah. So again, we're going to show you a couple of really cool ways, like Tony said, at your open houses. How can you generate more leads? Because that's what it's all about. So I don't know, it's so funny, Tony. You talk about, whether it's what you did 30 years ago or what people are doing today. What I'm going to show you today is a little bit of both. It's a little bit of the old school, what works, still works these days, but also infusing maybe some tech into there. So look at this live streaming your open house. So it's pretty cool. You could jump on a live stream when that house is filled with people. Why? It's going to create further interest and bring more people in. Hopefully, they talk about MTV Cribs. How they showcase the house in such a fun way. But again, you show off the best features of the home, show the flow of the house, guys. Don't focus on just one room. Okay. The best live streams, by the way, are 10 minutes long. Okay.
Mhm.
You have plenty of time to walk around, like it says, the yard, show off the amenities. You want as many as possible to feel like they can envision themselves in this actual home, guys. Pretty cool. And they're not only going to be looking at the house, but listening to you also as an agent. So make sure you take advantage. Okay. Act like you're talking to them directly. And once you're done with your video, you could post it on your Facebook or even Instagram to boost that traffic. Pretty cool idea. Tone, does anybody do that? Have you heard of people doing that?
Oh yeah, I have a few agents. I haven't heard from her lately since like when the middle of COVID. But bringing back what they were doing to go COVID, they would still put up signs, open house,
Yes.
but say live stream open house. So these people could drive by the area and make sure you have a big sign in the yard explaining it's live stream, not come as you go, but book an appointment to see the house inside
Right.
and what time it is for live stream. Also, it's recorded, so so people could see it
Yes.
afterwards too. So if you're one of those agents that just want to do, you really don't have the time to do open houses and sit there for 2 hours, but at least you should have signs, virtual open houses, making appointments and things like that.
Yes. Yes. I love that.
Next, there, did I get the next
Next
slide?
one.
Yep.
Rearrange the home virtually and send to your open house visitors. Pretty cool, guys. And like you said, too, there's a lot people were doing during COVID. You're absolutely right, Tony. And I think between, what we learned in COVID and in terms of technology, what technology is available today, and still the old standard that works, pretty impressive when you combine them all together. So it's a great idea. There is a top-notch Manhattan real estate agent that gave the idea that does this all the time. Most people have different perceptions of what their dream home should look like, so it's vital to use to your advantage by helping to fuel their imagination. So you can help them visualize what they can do with the home, the different uses for each room, the yard, the kitchen, with the varying tools. Like there's a called Roomy, there's IKEA Place, and all these others that you can actually virtually stage your houses that you want to sell with different styles and decor. For example, certain buyers may be looking for a nursery, while others, would use that space for a home office or a guest room. So the possibilities are endless. So show off how versatile the home can be, and you will appeal to more buyers, guys. So after doing this, you can email all the varying spaces directly to your prospective buyers. This way they can quickly skim through them, and then hopefully they'll contact you after that. So I love this. All right, guys, you have to know the types of virtual real estate content. Okay, you do. Okay, and there's a range of virtual content at the agent's disposal. Okay, so virtual open houses, what are they? So they are actual live events that allow agents to respond to buyer engagement and interest while live streaming a tour of the house. The live stream can be pre-constructed virtual tour, or the agent touring the physical house with a camera. They have grown in popularity, as we all know, and the closest replacement for in-person open houses. So now you have, that's a virtual open house. A virtual tour is, these are pre-recorded videos which allow the agent or homeowner to create more polished video at the cost of the direct interactions with the buyers. Okay. Video content, these are just smaller, more digestible chunks, if you will, in terms of videos to draw in earlier stage buyers, such as home highlights or introductions to the property or the neighborhood. So of these video formats, virtual open houses are really the most important of the real estate video strategies. But then again, they say a bad tour can turn buyers away from a home as much as a good one can sell it, you know? So again, this post will give some foundational guidance to agents looking to build or improve their virtual touring capabilities.
Yep, and if you put all these videos on your YouTube page, it's just like
Yes.
a portfolio for future business.
Yes, 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 yes. Now, this could be controversial. Drop the alcohol. I understand this could be controversial, but promise of alcohol can serve as a way to draw people in because the idea of free drinks is a great motivator. We know that. However, we generally advise agents, or I generally advise agents, to drop the alcoholic drink if they can. If the guest list is exclusive, it's fine to have some alcoholic options. But if it's a true, just true open house, you could skip it. One of the reasons is that it can lead to dead weight at your open house. Some people may only come for the free booze and aren't actually looking to buy. This could create a rowdy atmosphere and may discourage true buyers. Another reason, some places have social host liability laws, laws that impose civil and criminal penalties to the owners of the properties and any person who has any social control over the place. In this scenario, if an injury were to happen at the open house, you may be held liable and things could get messy. So also, you can have your clients who have an aversion to alcohol. They may find that presence of alcohol offensive. So, honestly, it's not going to hurt to take it out unless you have a real private list that you know and feel comfortable with.
Exactly, and then that's a lot of, we don't really encourage those like wine and cheese open houses in the evenings so much unless the sellers ask, because some do. They go, "Hey, my neighbor sold his house and their buyer, their agent had a wine and cheese open house." Then you kind of have to, talk to me, and I'm happy to give you some ideas and keep it to a minimum.
Heck yeah, no, I love that. I love that. And you know what, guys? Use your neighbors to your advantage before you do an open house. Let the neighbors know. I know we mostly do that, but we all don't do that. Oftentimes, people would rather live next to someone they know, and because of that, they are more prone to give you a direct referral. A direct referral is worth a lot because it connects you to potential buyers. To do this, just walk up neighbors' houses, obviously, invite them to the open house. We suggest doing this to the 10 nearest houses on both sides of the street. Another beneficial thing is having neighbors stop by gives potential buyers a sense of community. Everyone wants to feel like they're part of something, so use this to your advantage. Actually, the more neighbors to show up, the better. It's a good thing. This
Right.
will also put you in top of mind when they decide to buy or sell.
Also, yeah, I would say you could also have like a VIP for open house the first hour, just neighborhoods, and let them know too. My opinion and my slash legal opinion, if you're going door to door, inviting someone to an open house and have something printed out to remind them on behalf of your sellers, like, "Hi, your neighbors, the Smiths. I'm helping them sell their home, and they would like me to invite you." You're not selling them anything. The solicitation laws, in my slash pseudo legal opinion, is not something you have to worry about going door to door inviting someone to a open house, and that's all you're doing. So
Right. You could also turn it into a garage sale. Sellers need to declutter anyway, so why not kill two birds with one stone? You can work with the seller to make homemade signs or posters to put around the neighborhood to let people know about the garage sales. That'll increase foot traffic. Then you can bring them in to show the house. Even if they aren't interested in buying, they will likely have a direct referral for you or know somebody who is.
exactly. I have a couple agents that have done the garage sales slash open houses, but you got a
Nice.
fine line of making sure the house isn't cluttered. You're not
Right.
taking things out of the house. So it's just in the garage, in the driveway, but the house still looks nice. So, because I've had some agents like kind of turn it into an open house slash what do you estate sale, and then they're putting price tags on furniture and stuff, and then you got everybody in the house looking at furniture, not the house. So
Right.
just the
That's
keep that outside or in the garage. So
It's a good point. Good point. Now this is pretty fun, and Tone, do you guys have you ever used an automatic shoe cover dispenser?
I've seen them before. I haven't had any of my agents say that they're using them, but I do have
Mhm.
agents that say, "Hey, can my sellers requires buyers to take off their shoes?" Yes, I mean you can do that, but this is definitely something there. But especially in the wintertime up north.
Oh, God, you're so right. And what's interesting is people see this as just different. And you got to remember, people come into the open house, they see it. I would put a branding sticker on there, a C21 Homestar or something, so they know it's yours. And it's really impressive when they see that. It's impressive to obviously the person who listed their home with you. You're really protecting it. And anybody who comes through the home to see how considerate you are. I just think it's a great conversation piece as well, and might be something you want to look into. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're not too costly. I mean, some of them
No,
aren't.
yeah, it depends, right?
Right.
So you can hand out small gifts as souvenirs. So a lot of agents give out small party favors to their open house guests. It's just to stay top of mind when they leave. Yeah, pens, cups, koozies, all that stuff, right?
Yep.
It's crucial to make the open house experience a memorable one, so they think of you and your brand and whatever gift you give. Now, here's some cool stuff. I went onto Etsy, and for your agents, they can click on the link and see all the stuff, not only in the picture, but there's some really cute, fun ideas that they can utilize to give us souvenirs, stuff that's just not, regularly seen in open houses and stuff. So, again, when you guys get time, please take a look through this link or any other link you can think of. Etsy is a great site for amazing ideas on open house gifts and souvenirs.
Yep, I like that.
Yep. Record your open house, guys. If live streams are really not for you, that's fine. Why don't you record your open house and post it to social media? Do it earlier in the day. That way, there's still time for newcomers to show up. It doesn't have to be very long. It could be snippets to engage your viewers. You can also create video montages if you like. All right. You want to make sure it's eye catching. Utilize every social media platform to the fullest, guys. So, at risk of sounding like a broken record, remember not to underestimate the power of social media. Anything could go viral, including your little videos. Make sure you're consistent because people like consistency.
Yeah, and if you have all of you're really staying up to date with your social media, have your clients on there, your database on there, and like example, Facebook Live. If you live it on Facebook, it kind of pops up. If they happen to be on Facebook, they'll see one of their the people that they're friends with is going live, and of course, my past client, someone in the data just at least sees that you're working.
Right.
Wow, you're working and you're working in real estate. So it's kind of like you never know how many people are watching those live streams. Not that they're interested in buying or selling a house, but they at least see that you're working. So
Right. Now, if you can get Bon Jovi to your open house, I'll buy the damn house. But
right,
try
yeah.
having like I have a friend who owns a real estate company, okay, in Texas. And every time they do an open house, it's a guitarist, like an acoustic guitar, the two
Right.
acoustic guitar players and a violin player. They have a set rate. I should say every open house. Their open houses, when it's X amount of money and above, they bring them in from there. And I think it's really cool. So maybe have musicians set up in an open room to greet guests with relaxing music. I mean, I don't know. I'm not, I do play the drums, but other than that, I could play the spoons, and maybe, and I can crack my knuckles to Home on the Range. But it's just a great idea for luxury properties that are a little more, luxurious. So anyway, it'll increase the appeal, have it. And what's cool is you can have a local artist come and promote them on your site as well. And just a lot of cross promotion ideas. So I just think it's a fun idea. If you can get Bon Jovi, please let me know. If you can't, maybe a guitar player or something. So pretty cool stuff.
That's a great idea.
All right, guys. Now, also using open houses to raise money for charity, doing a philanthropic endeavor is really something great. And I know, Tony and Century 21 Corporate is, a lot of great philanthropic endeavors through there, if you will. So tons of people want to give back. We know this, and this could be a great way to get some free advertising. So also, as a real estate agent in your community, you're part of something bigger. So you can really raise money, whether it's for, Easter seals or whatever, any local charity, by mixing this idea with a raffle or something similar. Be sure to pick a cause that directly touches the people's lives in the location around you. Pledge to donate a certain amount per guest and provide information about the charity. This will help you get more exposure and appeal to the masses. However, navigating charitable causes to raise money can be tricky. So just do your research. Make sure if you want to do something like that, you really research it and you work with the charitable organization. It's a really nice way and everybody wins.
Especially if you have a charity that's going to help you advertise your open house too. So
Yes.
it just
Good
might be.
call. Yeah. Use QR codes. QR codes, aren't they? Well, people are still using them, guys. They're still using them. And I know they were the big thing a few years ago, but they're actually really useful. So, with internet listings now being the primary means for home searches, QR codes have become incredibly valuable due to their ease of use and speed. They also make great home buying process smoother, make the home buying process smoother, more engaging. So, here are 3 ways you can use QR codes at your next open house to get leads. First, set up an iPad sign-in station with a QR code for attendees to scan when they enter the open house so they can provide their contact info. Number 2, create a QR code that directs attendees to your contact information, website, and social media profiles to make it easy for them to get in touch with you for any questions, private showings, or receive additional property details. Number 3, generate QR codes linked to virtual tour videos and 360-degree panoramic images of the property so interested buyers can scan the code and reference the property at their convenience. Pretty cool.
Definitely.
Follow up, guys. I know everybody says this all the time, but follow up is key. I remember when I worked at another brand, our sign was extremely yellow. And it was interesting. Whenever the gentleman, the manager of one of their offices did an open house, he would always wear a yellow tuxedo. I know it sounds funny, but when he followed up with them and he made sure he followed up with everybody on Monday, he was like, I was the guy with the yellow tuxedo. Oh, yeah, I know you. Point is, he was doing something different. But even if he didn't, his follow-up was impeccable. So guys, make sure, when you're doing your open houses that you're blocking time to follow up with people afterwards. So there are pretty cool predictive apps to figure out who's worth following up with, like SmartZip, Bold Trail, Boomtown. These apps use billions of data points to give real estate agents leads from the best real estate lead generation companies out there. At the same time, even with countless apps, shouldn't forget about the human element. Keep your eyes peeled during the open house. Take notice of those interested. That requires mingling with each one of your guests and not leaving anyone alone with lingering questions. Chat people up. Ask what they're looking for at home. Most importantly, give them your business card. Assure that you can take care of them. I know this is very basic and you learn this in day 1 of training, but I am telling you, it's something you really need to make sure you schedule in your calendar.
No, most of the time, when agents say that they don't do it, they're just assuming that people don't want it.
Mhm.
If they walk into an open house, they know, a majority of people know they are going to be contacted by a realtor, or they wouldn't walk into the open house. Especially if they give you correct phone numbers, email addresses, and contact, then definitely they want to be contacted, or not going to be upset by contact, or you shouldn't have a fear of contacting those people. So.
Right. Some major don'ts and do's, do nots, if you will. Major don't do nots. Is don't spelled right? I never know. D-O-N apostrophe or D-O-N apostrophe T-S. I never know when it says don'ts when you pluralize it, but I like it like this. So, guys, don't defy house rules. Don't criticize an owner's taste. Don't disclose too much information. Don't overstay your welcome. You can ask half of my family members that. Don't encroach on other people's space, and don't touch the owner's things. I know that's so basic, but sometimes it kind of needs to be said, guys.
Oh, definitely. And yeah, it's just also put notes. I've had, gosh, so many different things. Example, sellers get upset because someone was looking through their closets. If so, like
Oh.
actually like moving things around, they could tell their clothes were moved around because they're trying to
Mm.
see, maybe put up notes if they want anything, any rooms or any places they don't want people to go. You know,
Ugh.
'Cause my opinion, I tell people, and let for an open house, there can be some boundaries there. Now, if someone's coming in to look at the house again and put an offer on the house, yes, now you got to open up. They got to be able to see almost everything as possible. But
Yep.
people don't have to have like an inspection during an open house. They're just there to, like, it's the first look. So if someone says, "Well,
Right.
I want to really see what's inside those closets," like, no problem. We'll schedule an appointment, have you come back. But during an open house with general people coming in and out, the sellers do not want people there or not looking in there or things like that. So.
There's some crazy stories I'm sure you could tell. You could probably write a book, Tony, on
Oh, right.
crazy things that happen during open
Oh,
houses.
and more and more, because of Ring cameras and recording devices, we've seen an uptick in that. Buyers or sellers, or at least sellers, getting upset because
Yep.
that they heard somebody say something.
Unbelievable. All right, some funny open house signs. I just threw this in just for some humor. I love this. Buy my house, it's not a dump. Open house today. Look at that sign with I love this. The power team, Ken and Chuck on the bottom.
Yeah.
He's got a marionette with him. Open house, 1 bedroom, tiny house. It's an outhouse. Or before somebody on a must sell lost job campaign meeting, wife left, took dog.
That's
Except for
good stuff.
asbestos.
Could use a
So
little bit of humor.
you really could. All right, now back to seriousness. I always like to infuse. Okay, guys, again, having an open house checklist I think is important, but not only important, a lot of people like to show their actual clients, their open house checklist and go through it with them, which is really cool. So everything from consider professional staging, potentially getting professional photography, boost on Facebook, decide what foods. I mean, guys, we got a great checklist that you guys could copy. I'm sure you guys have an even more exhaustive one. If not, then you can make this one yours, guys. But awesome, awesome to make sure you have a checklist so you hit consistency and quality at every open house that you hold, guys.
There we
And
go.
that is it. I appreciate the
That's it.
time, Tony.
Lots of information. Stop sharing. There you go. All right. Well, anybody watching this, if you want a copy of the presentation, reach out to me directly. I'm happy to send that to you. Also, book some time with me. Special Central and Homestar agents, tonytalk.net. Be happy to go over more ideas and open houses and getting more leads. So that's it for today. Thanks, Adam. We'll see you in 2 weeks and have a great day.
Thanks, Tony. Bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye.